Well, Pete, you and I have talked about the future of JobKeeper, and I've always said to you that the travel and the airline, all the tourism industries, they're the ones that are likely to be given the extra support. And I think Alan Joyce in sort of specifying the challenges for the airline, and I think probably the standout number or prediction of his is that we're not going to see sort of anything that like normal overseas travel until the middle of next year. Kind of underlines the fate or the challenge for Qantas and other airline businesses right now. So the government's clearly going to have to keep the JobKeeper program in place for an industry and a business like this. And that's why we're reading this morning that the government's even looking at an assistance program, because this is the reality. If the coronavirus infections were dissipating worldwide, you kind of think that maybe by Christmas we'd be travelling pretty confidently again. But it looks like it's on the back burner, and therefore the Qantas's, in a sense, its forecasted future looks a lot more negative this week than it did, say, 2 weeks ago.
In terms of, from a business point of view, though, I mean, Alan Joyce has decided to stay on till 2023. He wants to steer Qantas through yet another crisis. He's done it all before and he's got them through. He says he'll get them through again. I mean, he's the right man to do it, isn't he? Despite, how brutal the game has to be in terms of keeping the airline afloat by sacking so many people, basically.
Yeah, you've got to put the whole thing into context. No one likes to think that people have to lose their jobs, but at the end of the day, this is a company that's listed on the stock market. It's owned by ordinary Australians who are investors as well as superannuation funds. And when Joyce took over, the share price basically went down to about $1 at one stage, was vulnerable to a takeover, and it's gone as high as $5 or $6. I think he is the right man for the job. He knows the business pretty well, and you wouldn't even contemplate putting someone else new in there, given what's the industry is facing right now.
I'll tell you what, it was a brutal day in the stock market yesterday following that news. I mean, is this how things are going to be, Pete?
Well, I think the bottom line is we have, rushed ahead. The stock market's done very well. People have invested in Qantas and related businesses, as well as tech stocks. And a lot of that was based on the hope that the economic rebound would be quicker than expected. Now, remember, Moody's and the IMF have come out this week and basically said the Australian economy is looking good, but there's going to be specific businesses and industries suffering, like international tourism. And like just one simple comparison, Pete, imagine, say, in 3 months' time, the domestic airport businesses, all the ones we see when we go and fly, they're going to be rocking because we're going to be travelling within Australia. But if you go to the international airport, all those businesses will be struggling until the middle of next year. So I think some businesses, some sectors will really struggle. Others will be flying high. As imagine the yuppies who used to spend maybe $20,000, $30,000 at Whistler at Christmas time. They're going to be here spending it on the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast. Yeah. So there's going to be alternative spendings. Some businesses will do well, some sectors will, and others will struggle.